You're listening to Inside Real Estate, where we go deep into the minds of real estate professionals. Here are your hosts, Paul and Sal.
Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah! What is going on, everyone? We are Inside Real Estate. I am Paul Apostolakis. We've got Salvatore Cusmano.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good.
We've got Brad Weisgerber. He just keeps showing up.
Here I
He's
am.
really supposed to be part of the show. I don't know what's happening. How
But
are
I
you?
like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Better than
It's
sitting
good.
at the office.
And we have Caitlin Pengrazzi. How are you?
I am great. Thanks for having me,
Yeah.
guys.
So just so our audience knows, we've had some fun already. We've taken some shots. It was Brad's idea. My wife's not happy about it. We're already in a bad spot. We got a great show for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about Freddie Mac.
All
They're easing down some their guidelines. We've got a conversation I want to have about technology in our business and how people think they're going to like replace humans. Like I'm not really big on that. We've got a really special announcement. Stay tuned at the end of the show. I'm going to announce something that's really big. It's breaking news. Breaking news.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So
Do I know what it is?
what?
Do I know what it is?
I don't know that you do.
I don't think I do.
No, I don't
think
know.
I do either. I mean,
I
kinda
don't
scared.
think anybody does. That's why it's breaking news, guys.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So Caitlin, how are you?
I'm so good.
How do you feel about being around these misfits?
I enjoy it.
Yeah?
You guys are a good bunch.
Yeah, that's good.
I like to start my morning this way.
Yeah, this is a good way to start the morning. So, Caitlin, give us a little bit about your background. How did you get into the business? I know you're out of Maxbrook in Birmingham, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was in corporate sales for like 10 years out of school, but
Sounds
I
fun.
did dabble in mortgages. My brother was in mortgages for about 18 years, and my mom's a broker. She's got a little shop downriver in Allen Park for about 30 years. So
Nice.
I grew up in the business essentially, and even though I moved away for a little bit, when I came home, I just think that was a good mix
Yeah.
of lifestyle, and I loved people, and I love housing. So I thought it would be a natural progression for me to move out of sales, working for the big dog, and get into working for myself.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations. How long have you been in the industry now?
3 years.
3 years. So a lot has happened over the last 3 years.
Oh yeah, it's a tough market. My mom says agents are made or broken in this market. You know, it's not for everybody. It's obviously seller forward. So if you're getting started, you're obviously working with a lot of buyers.
Yep.
So it's been a lot of good learning.
Yeah.
Definitely more aggressive in the fact that I love aggression because I was in corporate sales for 10 years. So
Yeah.
it's good for me. I enjoy it. Beating out multiple offers,
That's
making
fun.
fun with all the agents, and making friends. It's quite a challenge, but it's one that I really enjoy.
And over the last 3 years, we've seen, probably when you started to where we are today, we've seen a big shift in the market, right? Probably when you started, it was more of maybe a seller's market a little bit. It wasn't as competitive. Today, the competition to get into a house or get your buyer into a house is it's legit. It's cutthroat right now.
Yeah, it
right?
is absolutely cutthroat to the max. I mean, I put an offer in on a house that had 33 offers.
33 offers.
Yeah, I
Dude,
mean,
think about that.
It's just, how do you even set yourself apart? For a seller, it's like, how do you even sift through those? Hopefully you have a good agent that's telling you what's up, but it's almost overwhelming.
when you see the winning offer, because I think I know the one you're talking
yeah,
about. It's
you
crazy.
were in on that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's way over ass. They're protecting you with an appraisal contingency.
Yeah, I ended up doing that loan.
waiving inspections.
They did no limit appraisal waiver.
Yeah.
If it came in 40 grand light, they would have paid it.
Yeah.
So the
For the
audience
contract.
understands, and we talk about this all the time, but I want to
No limit appraisal waiver.
Appraisal
We did that,
waivers are basically saying when you go to buy a house and you're getting a mortgage, you can only finance up to the mortgage, the appraised value, right? Well, what these people are saying is, listen, we're going to go over appraised value no matter what, right? So, we'll go $40K over appraised value. They don't care.
Well, in that situation, most of the time, though, there's a limit, right? 3, 5, 10 grand,
Right.
just depending on the purchase price of the house and how many offers there are. But, I mean, that's really the only thing driving values up.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
But-
It's good for comps in those
Yeah.
neighborhoods,
It
but
sets the precedent, right?
Right,
Yeah,
totally.
it totally sets the precedent.
I mean, it's just, but as a buyer's agent, you have to protect your buyers too. You don't want to get them in something that's totally financially risky.
That's a good agent.
Yeah.
Right? A good agent's like, dude, listen, you're overpaying, for you to make that money back. It's not a great deal for you. You can take it if you want, but if I'm advising probably against it. That would be probably a good agent that would do that, right?
Totally. And you have to you have to protect them, but you also have to say, eye on the ball. You have to, if you want to win, you have to. The winning is, and the deal is getting the house. And that does take extra measures now.
Definitely. And I think, from a buyer's perspective, you have to think two things, right? What is the house worth on paper, right, per an appraisal, and how bad do you want it? Right.
What are the emotional
Are you willing?
ties?
Yeah. Are you willing to pay $5,000 over what it's quote unquote worth?
Right.
Right. Because if it's worth it to you, that's what the house is worth.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's a crazy market. I mean, look, and I've been saying this for a couple episodes now. These listing agents that like brag about getting their house sold in 24 hours, I think it's kind of funny. It's like, dude, shut up. It's like that's not that hard.
Everybody does that now.
Right. Congratulations. Like you're one of a million. But if you're a buyer's agent and you win an offer against 33 offers or 20 offers, that takes skill. That takes navigating. That takes an ability to like know how to get a deal done.
Right.
Which is much more difficult in our market. Wouldn't you say that?
Yes.
Yes. By the way, Brad just bought a house.
Buying.
Buying.
Yes.
Buying. Yeah.
Pending.
It didn't appraise.
No.
man,
Oh, no.
No.
So
all three of our appraisals have come in low, and Chad's.
all three.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
So just
but the difference is, I didn't have appraisal guarantee because I refused to because I've been
didn't
searching
either.
for a house.
Paul's
where
the only one who did.
Paul's an idiot.
And
I don't want to overpay for a place to live. I mean,
look, dude, I really wanted the house and I didn't care, but that was what was important to me was me getting into that house because it was a tough market last year, right?
Right.
So, so audience understands, like all of us, me, Brad, Sal, and our other partner, Chad, all of us bought houses that didn't appraise. Think about that. And we're in the business, so we know what we're doing. Like,
Right.
imagine that, like, not really understanding the market and being like, what do you mean my house didn't appraise? Like, what am I going to do now? Right? You got to prepare. Like, that's a good agent will prepare someone and explain to them what's going to happen, what the contingencies, what are we going to do in this? I think a lot of agents are just trying to get the deal done. They're maybe newer, or they don't care about the client. I honestly believe that if you care about the client, that you've got to inform them correctly, right?
Yeah.
It's a totally different experience being, we see it every day, right? We try to calm buyers down when their appraisal comes in low and say it's not the end of the world. We're going to come to terms. It's a process. But now that like I'm on this side of the table, it's a totally different. I'm spun out like every other buyer is, right? It's crazy. Like I dealt with it every day, but now I'm still just, man, what's going on?
It's unfortunately, it's just not as enjoyable as a process as I'd like it to be for some of these buyers.
It's not enjoyable at all.
Yeah, it's
hellish.
It's so stressful. They don't understand. You try to explain it to them, and it's like sometimes I pay for Zillow leads, right? And I get these guys, and I don't know them. They don't know me.
Yeah.
And we're going to see houses, and I'm like, this house is amazing. You should probably bid, and we're going to have to go over. And they just probably think I'm like some greedy real estate
what are you
agent that
talking
wants
about?
$40 extra dollars. But it's like, no, we need to do this. You want the house. Like, these are what you need to do. Make your own decisions, but this is what needs to happen.
So my advice would be is to the general public: if you have a good agent or you trust, listen to them.
Yeah.
Because they don't want they don't want you to pay more than you have to. They probably have your best interest in mind, but you do have to listen to your counsel, basically, right? Like you know best.
Right.
Like,
Well, I think the make or break in this business and this market is being able to establish trust with your clients.
Totally.
If they trust you and they respect your opinion, right? I mean, they can always consult their family, their friends, whatever, but ultimately you have to trust the professional.
Absolutely.
yeah. So, well, Caitlin, there's some topics. Just so everybody knows, the Fed's like meeting today, right? I didn't bring that up.
It's supposed to be a big one.
Not the Feds, the Fed. They're the
Feds.
Fed, right? The Feds, not the Feds. The Fed is meeting today, and they're going to raise rates. We know that, right? Sal told everybody to lock in their loans yesterday. He went crazy. He's like, you need to lock, you need to lock, you need to lock.
He called me yesterday.
I did. You need to lock your rate, brother.
Yeah, it didn't
It's
happen.
too late.
I think rates are going to go down today.
You know,
Ooh.
it's
We should make a bet.
We did,
Yeah.
$1. We have $1 bet on it.
$1.
well, it's
Bob.
one of those things where either way, it's not going to go up too high and it's not going to go too low too quickly. But you got to look like when you're buying a house, you have to realize when you're closing, right? So for me, if you're closing in 2 weeks, right, that's probably a gamble worth taking, hedging your bet, right, locking in your rate. Because if it goes up, it might be the same rate, but people I don't think understand that the difference in rate, right, or when people say rates went up, you might still have the same rate. It's the cost for that rate that went up,
Right.
It's
right?
the
Or the credit
incremental-
that
yeah,
went down.
right.
So, with that being said, is it worth potentially hedging, $500-$600 of extra cost for you? Are you okay with it as it is today? It could get better. I don't know that, right?
Yep.
But if it gets worse, I'm calling you to stop the bleeding.
Right.
Okay. And then you also have with the idea that people people who are building new homes, right? When they're closing in 60, 90 days. Hey, they're going to raise rates. That's the general consensus. And granted, I don't know for sure, but in that time frame, if I lock you in today at, let's say, 4.5, right? It might not be that big of a jump, but the average rate in 30 days might be 4.625, right? And we saw this in January where, well, you're closing in 90 days. Let's float it out. There'll probably be another opportunity to get lower. And they went from 4 to 4.75, right? Or 4.25 to 4.75.
30 to 45 days. It was crazy fast.
So, if rates go down, you can always refinance. But if they go up, there's not much you can do. So I'm a hedger. Hedge the bet.
I'm a hedger.
I don't even know what that means. Jessica, do you know what a hedger is?
No.
Thank
I
you.
just picture Sonic in my head.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm a hedge. I'm a hedgehog.
I said that and looked at your
Everybody's face was like
glassed over eyes, like, oh man.
Nobody has any idea.
But
what you're
I'd
talking
rather
about.
hedge my bet, right? Be safe, and
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
that. And you know what? If you roll the dice, I told this to someone yesterday. It's not like life or death. It's not like
Right.
if your rate goes up an 8,
are you alive?
you're gonna are you still gonna buy the house?
Right.
Because your payment went up $10. I mean,
Yeah.
it's your risk.
Right.
But
Kelly, what do you think? Do you think in this market that we're in a good market to buy today? Like, so there's a contingency out there, or some people out there that are like, you know what? I'm gonna wait till the crash because things are they're like we're overbought right now. I think there's gonna be a correction. I'm gonna wait for that. How do you feel about that mentality right now?
I think there's two schools of thought I have about that. Like, obviously, economics over time has shown us that there will be downturns, there will be an end to this. But I also have this other school of thought that we didn't really ever have what we just got out of, which is like a major, major recession where people weren't building for quite some time. And so this supply issue, as well as these not elderly, but the baby boomers are kind of sitting tight. Everybody's in a really low rate. Who wants to just leave their 3% to go to a 5% right now? So there's a lot of things. And on top of it, in Metro Detroit, we haven't had a booming city in 60 years.
Ever.
Yeah, since, it was booming once upon a time. But not when we were alive.
No idea.
Way back.
So there's a lot of things that I think are going to make or break this next couple years. But I think we're in for a strong real estate market for a while. The only thing that I think might mess with it is the rates. Because if rates continue to go up, people can't afford as much, and so naturally something's going to have to.
But as
give.
rates go up, so will rents. Right.
Right.
Here's the reality.
Rents
of
are terrible right
Right,
now.
Yeah.
Actually.
and they're going to
Real.
keep going up.
well, the thing that's driving the rates going up is
yeah, you just got cut off.
I mean, does it all the time.
it's all right.
You're the
The thing that's driving rates going up is economic expansion, new jobs, higher wages. So typically, people who would say, well, I won't be able to afford it if the rate goes up 2 more percent. Well, you'll probably also be making another 10, 15% of your income.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all relative.
I disagree. That I don't think it'll be raising rates that'll take us out of this. I think, if anything, it will be deregulation. So it'll be looser guidelines. It'll be a slippery slope, right? People getting anytime guidelines get loose and people can make a buck, you're gonna have the slime balls out there that are gonna do it, and they're gonna put people in homes they can't
You
afford.
brought that up.
I mean,
So,
it's
I'm glad-
scary.
That's a good segue. So I get this publication called National Mortgage News, and in it, there's a couple things that are happening. Right, the CFPB is in their 5-year review. They're gonna. There's something called QM, qualified mortgage. They're reviewing that to basically loosen those guidelines. Freddie Mac just announced that they're easing their 3% down payment program, so it makes it easier for a first-time home buyer. So we're already seeing in our market a lot of loosening of the past guidelines, and the CFPB is basically, they're not punitive anymore. They're not coming after people, especially with the Trump presidency.
Right.
Things are getting looser in our market.
And it's scary.
I don't like it personally, and the reason I don't like it is the reason we look. The pendulum did swing very heavy to one side. Let's be honest, right? We went from super deregulated to let's clamp everything down, which was necessary, I believe. Mm-hmm. We're now in a good little pocket where it isn't super easy to get a mortgage, but you can get one if you actually save money and make money, right? You've got money for a down payment. What I'm going to start getting super worried, and it's already kind of happening, zero down programs, stated income programs where you don't have to show all your income.
Just filed bankruptcy last week. Yeah, you can get a mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, well, that freaks me out because we shouldn't give mortgages to people that can't make the payments, right? Listen, right now foreclosures are down. The market's super healthy. I'm worried that we're going to get amnesia, right? Like we're going to forget like that, like all this other stuff screwed us in the long run. I don't want the housing market or the housing system to be the reason why we have a recession again, right? The reason 2008 was so bad was because everybody lost everything in their houses. The housing market completely crashed, and it's like that's a staple, that's a pillar in our business, right? So imagine things get super loose, and you don't need a down payment anymore to get a house. Well,
I mean, I'd like it personally as a buyer, but I wouldn't want it to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I would want to put money
yeah,
down.
you'd like to be drunk every day too, but that wouldn't be conducive to like the
a lot of
you know
things
what I
I'd
mean?
like to do every day.
Right? Like if you like, there's a lot of fun things, but at some point you pay the piper,
Well,
right?
and-
Sal
and-
knows when he drinks, he has a hard time the next day.
I don't think you do though, man.
No,
You usually come to work.
no, my hangovers are bad. They're really bad.
But even with like, let's say a 3% down program, right? Or an FHA loan, which is 3.5% down, I think a lot of people fail to realize that you don't have
Whoa.
Oh, we
You-
just lost
you know,
Mike's Jessica.
you don't have 3.5% equity, right? Like you have on an FHA loan, you have to finance. You don't have to, but most people do, right? Hence them putting minimal down. 1.75% of the loan amount on top of the loan. So that means you have 1.75% equity in a house that you just bought, or a VA loan with the funding fee. You put zero down, and what is it? 2.25%.
Depends. It could be 3.3.
rolled on.
Yeah.
Rolled on top of the loan. You're underwater $10,000 on a $200,000 house
right off the bat.
right off the bat.
And Caitlin, like if property values start declining and you don't have a lot of equity and you start not be able to make your payments, it's tough to hold on to that house.
Yeah.
That's when
Yeah.
you start having problems, right?
Yeah,
You can't sell
you're
it.
in a not good spot. Yeah.
Yep.
The investors out there would be excited.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
then you
the-
foreclose and they'd have something to buy
Oh my
finally.
God.
But
Foreclosures are at an all-time low right now. Really, they're very low. We've got a really healthy economy, but again, I do worry. I have this fear, and I've said it before. Let's not forget what got us into the mess that we were in.
Right.
The reason we're healthy right now is because a lot of things that we put in. Let's not strip it all back. There should be like common sense stuff.
Yeah.
But on another note, actually, Sal just closed a loan for me a couple weeks ago. One of my buyers, she did the 1%, 2% match with Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she makes good money. She works at Blue Cross. We just don't have as much money in the bank these days.
Yeah.
Like our
Right.
parents, that's what they did. They saved for a house.
Yep.
Our grandparents, they saved for a house because that was the American dream and that's what you did. Now we want to have our lifestyle and our house and we have our student loans. And I know it's a slippery slope, but if you're making good money and you can put some away
Yeah.
and you can put, you're going to be able to make those payments and you're going to be able to live and do some updates because a lot of these houses need updates.
All of them do.
Yeah.
It was a different world back then too, though. So those generations saving for a house. I mean, how much did a house cost back then? 40,000, 70,000, 100,000 maybe. Like
even
look at what-
housing was so much cheaper back
Yeah.
then.
Well, and look what a car cost back
Right.
then, right? I mean, in the 70s, you could buy a brand new car for, I think, like $1,800, right? I mean, a car right now, to get a nicely equipped truck is $50,000,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
That used to be a house, dude.
yeah,
Right?
it's pretty
Talk
nuts.
about 20% down on a $50,000 house versus 20% down on a $500,000
It's all,
house.
also
It's
all
big.
relative. It's all salaries. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, inflation
Well, the
happened.
amount of
right?
taxes you take out, and then if you want to have a retirement, you got to take out, another 10% of your check. You walk away with what, $500 a month? That's if you don't go to the bar and blow it in 2 nights.
Yeah, true.
So,
Sal.
it's kind of tough. I mean, it's tough to save.
All right, next topic, guys. A mortgage in 30 minutes. There's a lender out there called Lenda that is Lenda, like Linda, but
Is it
Lenda.
gangsta?
Stop it. Just stop. So they want to basically get a mortgage done in 30 minutes. It's crazy. They basically said you could have a human try to determine whether something qualifies, or you can build that into a tech and start doing it in lightning speed. Bro, like, what are you doing? Like, we're gonna just remove the human element and just like everything's gonna be black and white, and it's like a credit card approval. Dude, that's not gonna work. The more we remove the human element out of our business, the worse life is gonna get, in my opinion. Right? Like some of these, like buying a house off Zillow, sight unseen, without professional guidance in a really complicated transaction is crazy, right?
It's insane.
Right? Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, who's gonna help? Like, these for sale by owners suck. Like, doing a mortgage in 30 minutes without really like having a human look at it is going to suck, right?
It's bad for the consumer. Like, you may be able to get it done, but you may be in a bad mortgage. You might not be in the right loan for you. You might struggle through it, and you're going to hate your life.
If you can get a mortgage in 30 minutes, how much time have you had to think about that and what you're doing and the terms and did you check the rate?
So
and
brutal.
you know,
It's stupid.
it'd be sweet.
How is it even possible?
It's
It
not.
makes no sense.
It's not. It's really not. How are you
Yeah.
going to pull
It is-
title?
No, it's possible.
No, it's not.
Is it?
Not
It's
right
as
now.
If they had a system that would
How are you going to get an appraisal done,
automatically
bro?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
But you
It's
can
not
get
possible.
You can get everything that you need as a buyer done in 30 minutes, and then let the process finish itself. The companies that are doing this, like, there's a big company out there that spent billions of dollars advertising this do-it-yourself mortgage, and it's kind of flopping, right? It's struggling because nobody wants to do
You're
it.
talking about the Quicken?
Yeah,
It's not flopping, bro.
it's not doing
It's,
as
but
well.
people are using it, but there's still a human doing it. Like, people don't understand,
Yes.
like, this Rocket Mortgage thing, and we're really, like, in tune with it because we're in the area. It's a great marketing tool. There's a lot of it that's automated. There's still a human on the other end doing a lot of stuff.
Right.
Yes.
Right? There's still people pushing paper and pushing buttons and, like it's not, like, totally automated. This company just wants to make it basically
I think
click a
it's
button.
great for like refinances, right?
Well, it's great
But
for the company because they.
A refi I get.
yeah.
A
Like,
refi
hey, you
I
can lower
get.
your rate. Here's the rate. Here's the points. Okay.
Well, as
You're-
a consumer, you have less education as to what you're getting, so they can basically offer you just very bland products where they have higher margins on it, and you don't know the difference, and you don't have anyone to talk to find out. So
Right.
it's great for them.
Kayla, what do you...
What is going
Again?
on right now?
Jessica.
I'm trying to like mute out your paper, but you just keep playing with it.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you got to tell me.
Sorry.
So, Kayla, what do you think about appraisals right now?
I just had a good week in appraisals. I had 4 come back at value, and there was all of them went over a little bit, and that's buyers and sellers that I'm working with. I think, obviously we're in the thick of it, April, May, June. So we have a little bit better appraisals to comp with. But a few months ago, it probably wasn't as generous. I think that the appraisers are kind of getting with it. They know that the market's super strong, and if you have a good listing agent, they should be meeting the appraiser, in my opinion, with some comps, telling them
One more time?
if you have a good agent, you should be meeting the appraiser,
Which doesn't happen very often.
which I do every time
You should.
with comps and
Yeah.
make nice and tell them about the neighborhood. There's because a lot of them don't know every neighborhood, right?
can't. Right.
Some of
Yeah.
them aren't even from the area, and tell them there's multiple offers. There was so much interest, and just do whatever you can to make those prices go as high as they can.
And those are facts, right? It's not like you're turning their ear and saying we need to hit
No,
this.
no,
like
no.
they and I've seen that, right, in rebuttals and whatnot. I'll show another comp, this had multiple offers, blah, blah, blah. And they will take that into effect and usually bump the value if it makes sense and it's a good comp. But, that's the first thing I ask on a low appraisal if the listing agent calls me as well. Did you meet the appraiser? Did you show them the comps that you're telling me about? Mm-hmm. No.
No.
Why
Well,
not?
No.
Well, that's, to me, right? That's part
Yeah.
of your job. Of,
Yeah, some
of-
people say that you're trying to tell them how to do their job. No, you're just helping them get to an end result that makes sense for everybody.
You're
Yeah.
giving yourself the best opportunity
Right.
to get
And
the
you
best
don't have to
value
Yeah,
possible.
I'm not saying use these. I'm saying
Here's a
the
packet
facts.
of comps
yeah.
that we think, represent the property
Right.
well. Most appraisers will be like,
Thanks, man.
thanks.
Yeah,
Now I can pull these comps, and if they're good comps, I'm going to use them.
Right.
Right.
I feel like this if this was a buyer's market, you would see listing agents going to every appraisal every time, meeting
sure.
the appraiser. But I think, and maybe it's just me, I don't want to give realtors a bad rap out there, listing agents, but they're getting so many offers. They're like, oh man, this is cake. I can kick
They're
back.
getting
and then
lazy.
Yeah, laziness exactly.
Let's be clear.
You know what I mean? I don't want to, and that's total speculation, right?
Let's be clear, and I believe this wholeheartedly. There's a good population of agents that are really good. Most suck.
Yes.
Can I say that?
yes,
Yes.
you can.
Yeah, a lot of agents aren't good at their job. They're part time, and I mean, there's nothing against. I'm not against it, but like you got some agents don't even know how to really truly fill out a purchase agreement.
Yeah.
which is a problem.
Yeah.
and it's not really their fault all the time. They
They're
just
not
don't
getting
have.
trained.
They're not getting trained. They
No.
don't have a mentor. They don't have tutelage. Somebody just gave them a phone book or like gave them a lead and like call these people, right?
Yeah.
Give them a template.
Or they don't take it
template
seriously
contract.
enough. To them, it's like, well, I do 3-4 deals
It's a
a year. I
transaction.
Well,
make
you
an
don't
extra
get
20,
out of
30
school
grand.
and know how to sell real estate.
No.
Right.
It's 40 hours of training, and you're not going to be able to sell real estate after that.
And that 40 hours doesn't really teach you.
No,
anything.
it doesn't. It teaches you more mainly legal jargon.
Right.
You know,
Don't break the law.
Don't break the law. Don't be an idiot,
Right.
basically. But there's a lot of very poorly trained agents out there because everybody in reality thinks that they can sell real estate. But the reality is, it's not true.
It's not $1 million listing.
It's not $1 million listing, and yeah, you could sell a couple houses and make some good money. But like, are you going to be serving your clients in a way that benefits them and makes them feel like they're getting the best service, the best, because a lot of clients out there, they're like, well, you've only been in business for a few years. But I joined a team last year. I recently left the team because I was doing quite a bit of business, but I joined the team because I knew I didn't know
You
a
needed
ton.
the support.
I wanted to hear from other agents, have eyes on all of my clients to make sure I wasn't making any mistakes. And I think it's actually beneficial for all agents to do that, because if not, you're out there willy-nilly by yourself, like trying to sell real estate and trying to, Google things that you should be knowing,
It is funny because everyone, like, that's probably like one of the most common things I hear when people are, well, I'm trying to get into real estate. Well, it's not $1 million listing. But the reality is that it is $1 million listing. They just don't understand the work that it takes to get there.
Oh, it's,
But
it's
that opportunity is there.
complex.
Right.
Yeah.
There are
I mean,
people who list
Speaking of
multi-million-dollar homes
$1 million
only.
listing, I emailed Ryan Searhart to be on our show. I did.
Did you get a response?
No. I've actually reached out to him like 10 times. He married a Greek girl. I figured we had a connection.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I know his wife.
I literally, I'll show you guys the email. I sent a picture of me and my wife to him and said, look, my wife really wants you on the show. She thinks you're hot. It's not working.
No.
Ryan, if you're listening, which you're probably not, please come on the show. It'd be awesome. So, yeah, I mean, look, the market is super tight. It isn't getting better. So my whole
It's
point.
getting a little bit better, like a little teeny
there's-
bit. Like
yeah.
June has been promising,
You just had
but we had such a
33
crappy
offers.
winter, nobody wanted to move.
You had 33 offers.
I know that was 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
6 weeks ago. Sorry,
Yeah.
I misspoke. It was like about 6 weeks ago, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you closed the loan on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's getting a little better. I'm
Okay.
seeing a little bit of pushback, some price reductions, things like that. People are getting a little,
Right.
selfish.
Yeah.
A little greedy.
That happens.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm talking to a lot of agents like, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while. Well, I got a lot of listings. I'm not really talking to a lot of buyers. So,
Well, if you were.
Because buyers are tough right now.
Yeah, their buyers are tough. And if you were thinking about selling your house and you're looking to get top dollar, this might be it. Right?
This
It
is it.
might be,
This is it.
but it's.
I don't think it's it, but you will get very good money
Yeah,
for your house.
totally.
Right?
This is it.
What?
This is it.
No, it's not.
You can't say, I don't think it is.
No, because you're an idiot.
If it
This is
makes
why-
sense
no,
today,
you're an idiot. And I'll tell you why
then
you're an idiot.
do it.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
you're
li-
right.
Right.
Don't
I get
ever
that.
don't ever hold out for, I don't think it's top dollar. No, today is top dollar.
bottom-
Sell your house.
Yeah, you have a good
and
point. I'll take back
bottom
my
line
idiot
is
statement.
bottom
Sorry.
line is this: it's like talking about locking in your interest rate.
Yeah,
right?
if it makes sense today, do it.
Yeah,
It's a good point.
does the number work for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
But where are you gonna go?
That's the question.
Yeah, where are you
I don't
gonna
know.
go? You're gonna pay top dollar somewhere else.
It's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
tomato, tomato. So here's the deal. Like, I think a couple things are going to drive our market going forward. Millennials buying houses, people having babies. There's a big population of people that are looking for houses. First-time buyers are there, right? You also have a big population of people, baby boomers, that are going to downsize.
Yes.
They don't want that colonial. They don't want to walk up those stairs. They need that ranch. They want that
want
assisted
that
living,
condo.
whatever it is, right? They don't want to have to cut the grass. So, and they're going to start moving out. So there's all these buyers that I think are going to start going in and they're already there. I don't see demand slowing down for the near future. I don't.
As long if they can start building more housing for those baby boomers, ranches
Yeah.
and affordable, I don't know. I just feel like that's like the biggest crunch on the market right now is my parents aren't going anywhere. There's nowhere for them to go.
Right.
There's no downsizing opportunities, and it's just the real
Unless they
estate
wanna
here is
move an
just
hour away.
lacking a little bit. What?
unless they want to move
Right.
an hour away.
Like your parents moved to what? Port Huron, right?
Yeah, and I hear that more often. I'm like, what? Like when I heard that they were moving to Port Huron, in my head I was like,
That's all far ways
They
away,
wanted
man.
far away from you.
good luck, right? But now I
Can't
hear
live
more and
like
more
that.
people moving up there, and it's like, oh, okay, and it's nice up there.
It's really
There's
nice,
a lot
yeah.
of newer homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, there's nice houses in a lot of different places. People are building houses, but they're on the outskirts, right? These millennials want to have walkability. They want to live in a Royal Oak, a Ferndale, a Birmingham, whatever it may be, right?
Right.
People like living there, but if you want to get outside, you could probably find a house like in Howell.
Yeah, I'm terrified to move out to the super suburbs. I just don't want
Really?
to do it.
Where-
I call it the
The
super
super
suburbs because, Ferndale, Royal Oak, those are suburbs, but they have cute downtowns. They have some walkability,
Got
and
it.
then you go out 40 minutes, and then I won't be seeing any of my friends. It's like,
Yeah.
I'll make new friends, I'm sure, but I like to go out. I like to go to the city a lot, so I'd rather have a smaller house, smaller mortgage right now, and deal with like my child getting larger and tearing up the house than moving out to a large colonial.
So I moved to Novi. That's pretty far out there.
It's a super suburb.
It's a super. Is that a super suburb?
It's got a nice downtownish area.
No. Well, we're like Northville has a nice downtown.
Yeah,
Like Northville's nice, but like
like drink coffee and eat.
No, Northville is like dead, right? You go at like a Sunday like night.
Yeah.
There is nobody there. Can we do something about that in Northville if you're listening? Get some bars. Do something.
Yeah, they're all
Spice it up.
partying.
Don't you live
They're all
there? Why don't you
partying
do
in
something about
Plymouth.
it?
No, they're all parents. Parents don't do anything else.
Yeah.
It's a good place to grow your family.
It is. No,
Great
that
place.
that part is great. Yeah, I like that
So,
part.
yeah.
So what's
And-
going on, Salvatore? How have you been?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
what's
you
the
having
announcement?
kids?
Just drop it. I don't know, man.
You want me to drop the special, guys?
Yeah, what time
Okay,
is
so
it?
we've got.
Let's drop it.
Oh, you hear that? It's breaking news.
I've just been handed this announcement.
So I want the audience to
Man.
know Salvatore Cusmano is dating someone.
Come on.
That's the announcement.
Come on.
Oh.
All
She was
right.
off the market.
Can we give her? Oh, his.
There were multiple offers.
Over asking?
Man.
Oh, there were multiple offers.
Appraisal waivers.
Let's Paul never ceases to just amaze me.
Yeah,
man.
just
Sal's growing up, man. He's settled down. He's got a house now. He's
Salvatore
got
has a
girl.
house. He's got a
You gotta
girl.
grow.
Next,
a
next
little
is going to
bit.
be the ring, and then the kids,
Come
and
on
then moving
now.
to the super
Whoa,
suburbs,
whoa,
man.
whoa. No, I don't think.
Super
Look, I
suburbs.
don't.
Wait.
Salvatore cannot get a ring yet. He can't be taken away from me. I'd be very jealous. I'd be very upset. It would
man.
really hurt my soul if Salvatore put a ring on it and it wasn't me.
He's not
Okay.
kidding. He's not kidding.
So,
Yeah. So that was the breaking news. How do you
thanks,
feel about
man.
that?
Really good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay. So moving on. What about Trump? Like he's gonna get reelected. We know that, right?
No comment.
Absolutely. I know. Listen,
He is not.
I will. Unless he gets arrested or indicted for something, he is getting reelected,
No
guaranteed.
way. No way.
Absolutely.
No way. Because you know who's going to come out this time is our generation, that a lot of them are liberal, and they're not going to let it happen.
Dude,
We didn't come to
there's
vote last time.
There's
Dude.
an underbelly in this country.
Dude.
All those people are getting really old.
Then they can vote, though. What are they going to? They'll wheel themselves in and be like, Trump, I love
It
Trump.
is. I mean, it's only 4
Why is it
years
gotta be
away,
that
right?
so-
I don't know.
It's
Or
a
three.
couple years. Yeah,
Guys,
it's
guys,
been
It's
years.
not happening, Paul.
He's getting.
No.
Economy's doing really well.
That's
If that happens,
not just because of him, though.
No,
If
but
that
it
happens,
doesn't
I'm running
matter.
this company from Canada.
It doesn't matter if it's him. People's perception is that it is him.
Yeah.
Right? It's not reality. But listen, he just he's gonna win a Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, literally, like all this stuff that he's doing. Although he's like a maniac and he says a lot of different things that are not good. Listen, I'm not a Trump fan. I just want the audience to know that. But you can't take away from the situation at hand. The reality is, as much as you hate him, the perception is he's doing a lot of good things, and he's gonna get reelected.
I do love his love for real estate. That's about the only thing I can say I really like about him.
Listen,
And his spin
Brad-
selling,
by the way-
skills.
it's pretty good.
It's pretty
No, it's not
good.
even that good though.
He could-
No, it's not even that good. All he has is he just basically blatantly lies and says, yeah, whatever.
blatantly lies.
Yeah, it's amazing.
About everything.
And he's untouchable. It's actually crazy how
is.
good he is. Brad's super left, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's super left. You're probably pretty left.
No comment.
Yeah. Salvatore,
I'm in the middle.
you're in the middle.
Yeah.
I lean way more left, but
I don't really think about it, you know.
No, Sal, you're not really into it that much.
Yeah, it's whatever, you know. What's today look like?
But would you ever think that he of all people would get the Rocket Man and him in a room shaking hands to like a peace accord? And by the way,
Yes.
the military had no idea he was going to sign some peace accord either. Like they were like, "What did you do?"
Of course it would be him because this isn't a breaking thing. Every president before him has had the opportunity to, because it's North Korea's dream to have a meeting and be legitimized in the world. Donald Trump's the only dumbass that said yes. Of course.
Yeah, but don't you think it's a good thing? Honestly, Like why?
Yes and no.
Why not meet with him and like have a
Because it legitimizes him.
who cares
to the world?
Who?
As
Who cares? Why? Why?
It gives him more power to be something stupid.
Is it like recognizing a terrorist?
Is he
Exactly.
But is he a bad
He's a
person? He
horrible
just
human
really
being.
wants to take care of his country. Maybe.
He is ultra ego. Like, yeah.
Who? Trump or the
No,
other guy?
Kim
Did you say
Jong.
he wants to take care of his country? Do you know what he does to his
I
country?
don't really.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
yeah.
God.
It looks really clean.
Yeah, it's orderly for
Yeah.
sure, but he's threatening, and yeah, it's not good.
I don't know.
But they probably got a lot in common, those two.
Yep.
They're probably like best buds. Like
Yeah.
they're probably like we're brothers. We're happy.
I mean, listen,
We're gonna make the best deal. It's gonna be the best peace deal
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
when you're like, you want to go hang out, man? It's him.
you know, it's just a
It's
strange
him.
situation when people are probably half the people watch the video of Donald Trump and Kim Jong Il or whatever meeting, and then the other half probably watched Dennis Rodman's reaction.
Oh,
you
man,
know,
that was great.
and like
I see all three
weight
of 'em.
that and take that into effect of like what this actually means. He's like the only other American to go there and not like get beat to death.
Well, they're friends. They're all friends. now.
Yeah.
It's Donald Trump, Dennis Rodman, and Kim Jong Il, and they're hanging
fuck
out.
is happening to our
and they're
world?
hanging out, and they're drinking like whiskey sours at some bar, like hugging each other, and be like, "Man, I love you. I love you too."
All right.
All right, we're all
Moving
done.
on.
Yeah, we're all, the show's pretty much over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to end on that. Can we end on something else?
What do you want to end?
I
on?
don't know. Something else.
Salvatore's
Well,
dating
Sal,
someone.
yeah, you're dating
No.
someone. So tell us about this
Caitlin,
girl.
How do we get a hold of you?
Oh yeah, let's go through
Oh,
that. Yeah.
248-727-7260. You can find me on Instagram at Make Moves with KP Detroit. And you can find me all over Facebook as well.
Yeah, give that number
Yeah,
one more time.
Yeah, I missed that.
248-727-7260. Would love to hear from you and talk to you about your housing
She's
needs.
one of the good ones, people. Reach out to her.
Thanks.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you having me on.
Salvatore, how do people
Sal?
find us? What?
Man.
Omega.
Why are you doing Sal?
You want to do it?
No.
Yeah.
I thought-
Yeah, Jessica. Tell the audience how they can find us.
Oh, on PodcastDetroit.com, search for Inside Real Estate, or go to SoundCloud or iTunes or any of the other podcasting websites.
The podcast comes out, Friday on the platforms?
Yeah.
So you get the early
basically.
sneak peek if you watch live on Facebook. on
Right.
Wednesday.
So just for the audience, could you guys just like us? I'd appreciate it. It's Ryan Seahart. If you're listening.
Paul needs validation.
If you're Ryan Seahart and you're listening, I love you. I like your tight pants.
Oh, whoa.
What's wrong with you?
Play the outro.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful day. See you next week. We love you.